Hello, lovelies. Author Swamini here, and I am back with another short story from Indian mythological genre. This story I have named as The Heart of Shiva. And the story is a fiction story, but it is based on a real incident that happened in 1965, where along the Himalayas there is a peak called as Nanda Devi. During some tension between India and China in that time, the Indian defense decided to plant a surveillance device, plutonium powered surveillance device on the Nanda Devi peak in order to monitor China. This is the situation in 1965. However, due to an avalanche, the nuclear device was lost and it is not recovered yet. So this incident is real, and based on this incident I have written this short story, and I want to narrate it to you guys, and this will be a 4-part series. So let's begin with the part 1 of The Heart of Shiva, called the Halahal. So Veer Bhagwat, a 34-year-old quantum physicist and amateur mountaineer, had a knack for solving puzzles, scientific or otherwise. What began as an academic obsession with unexplained radiation spikes in glacier filled rivers soon turned into a personal mission. No permit, no support queue, just a fabricated climate change survey project and his unmatched willpower. His destination, the forbidden slopes of Nanda Devi. Hidden under the layers of bureaucratic myth, Veer had pieced together decades old reports, GPS anomalies, and fragments from declassified defense files. The nuclear device lost in 1965, a radioisotope thermoelectric generator powered by plutonium 238, was presumed either destroyed or buried. But Veer believed otherwise. Something in the satellite data, thermal irregularities too focused to be geological, hinted that the device was still there and emitting energy. So he started the trek alone. Halfway up the treacherous Nanda Devi peak, his custom radiation dosimeter spiked. He followed the readings until he stumbled upon a fractured rock face, covered partially by snow and glacial debris. There, buried under the ice and stone, was the device, still intact, still humming softly, like a beating heart. The casing was corroded, but the power core pulsed faintly with heat. Veer's trembling hand hovered above the core of the lost nuclear device, its display still blinking faintly after decades. Suddenly, the air turned thick, charged with an unnatural stillness. A low hum pulsed through the cavern, vibrating deep in Veer's chest. The relic, which should have long ceased functioning, let out a soft chime. Then a voice, not heard through ears but resonating inside his skull, echoed through the chamber. The Halahal was never buried, it sleeps within time. The rock beneath his feet shifted. Veer turned, looking around as if sensing the entire mountain groan. The device clicked loudly, not with danger, but in rhythm, as if syncing with something ancient. Veer stumbled back. The mountain wall in front of him cracked, and a long skeletal hand, wrapped in serpent skin, emerged, followed by a faint outline of a massive coiled form. He blinked. The mountain was not just sheltering a god, it was restraining something else. Suddenly, the satellite communicator on his belt buzzed violently. Static turned into a robotic voice. Seismic activity detected. Magnitude 7.5 and rising. But Veer couldn't move. His eyes were locked on what was emerging from the shadows. It wasn't human, it wasn't divine either. The heart of Shiva had awakened something older, something forbidden. And it remembered his name. The screen on the nuclear device blinked one last time and displayed a new line. Protocol Samudra Manthan, Phase 2 initiated. The cavern shook, and then everything went dark. The avalanche sealed the mouth of the cavern as though nature itself conspired to keep the secrets buried. Veer was gone. At least that's what the Indian Defense Recon Unit believed when they arrived at his base camp. No trace, no signal, no life. Except their monitors showed increasing radiation signatures. They brought the humming device to a hidden containment site. A month later, inside the subterranean vault lined with lead and copper, the device recovered from Nanda Devi sat in a containment dome. The readings were impossible. The plutonium core was still active, but something had changed. It emitted pulses in rhythmic intervals, almost like a heartbeat. Dr. Katha Kashyap, a theoretical physicist with a side obsession in Vedic cosmology, had been summoned. She wasn't just an expert in quantum anomalies, she had spent years correlating Rigvedic chants with harmonic frequencies. Ma'am, a junior scientist called. The core pulsed again. Frequency locked at 432 Hz. That's the same as the frequency of the universe. Yes, Katha whispered. She stepped closer. The pulses were not random, they formed syllables. Sanskrit, a language embedded in radiation. Veer, Veer Bhagat is not lost. Meanwhile, somewhere beneath the Nanda Devi, Veer opened his eyes to a new reality. He wasn't dead, but he wasn't alive either. The world around him was not made of rock and ice, but something far older, a nether space between the sacred Himalayas, a plane of existence that echoed with the chants of long dead sages and roared with trapped voices. A massive serpent slithered past him, not bound by gravity. Its translucent body shimmered like the northern lights, and within it, Veer saw memories, wars, deluges, birds of stars. He heard the voice again. You are now in the Naga Kshetra, guardian of the forgotten venom. Before him stood Sheshna, the celestial serpent, coiled infinitely through time. Veer tried to speak, but his words dissolved. Sheshnak's voice bypassed language. He communicated through essence. The Halahal was not destroyed. Lord Shiva contained it in the core of the earth. Your world tampered with the cage. Now the poison awakens. We remembered the glowing core, the skeletal hand. Something had breached the balance. Why me? He thought. His thought resonated loud. Because your soul carries the mark, the eye of Nilkant. You were chosen long before birth. He saw a scene unfold across the translucent serpent skin. It was the Pokhran nuclear test facility. In a dim chamber, a sannyasi dressed in saffron handed a baby to a military general. This one, he said, has Shiva's burden. Keep him near the fire, but not within the fire. His karma will one day close what your science has opened. The child was Veer. Back at the containment site, the pulses began broadcasting coordinates. A deep trench in the Bay of Bengal, an exact point. Ma'am, the message is repeating. Bring the heart to the ocean. The churning must begin again. Katha's hands trembled. It was the Samudra Manthan, the churning of the cosmic ocean. Devas and Asuras once churned the sea to extract Amrit. But before the nectar came Halahal, the poison of the cosmos. It wasn't mythology anymore. In the timeless space, Veer was changing. His veins pulsed with blue light, not radiation, Shiva's essence. He was no longer a soldier, he was a vessel. Sheshna coiled protectively around him. The gods cannot intervene, but a man touched by divinity can still tip the scales. Voice resonated. Before Veer, a portal formed. On the other side, he saw ships moving towards the Bay of Bengal Trench, carrying the relic. He saw them lowering the device into the ocean. Suddenly, the sea erupted. A vortex emerged from the water. Tendrils of black mist spiraled out, screaming in languages lost before the Mahabharata was written. Veer, at that moment, stepped into the light and descended from a rift in the sky, wrapped in serpents of light. His eyes glowing indigo, his chest marked with the Trishul. He reached the relic just before the vortex swallowed it. His fingers touched the core. Time halted. I offer this vessel to the Nilkant. Let the poison return to silence. Veer's voice echoed and the ocean swallowed him. The relic, the vortex, the poison. Everything gone. Katha, witness to all this, stood stunned on the ship. A week later, Katha stood before a screen showing an encrypted file sent from the missing search satellite. She knew the world was safe, but at what cost? For how long? She persuaded the Indian Navy to take up Veer's search on priority. The file showed a still image on the screen. Veer floating in an ocean of stars, eyes closed, guarded by seven serpents. The screen flickered, and a message scrolled across the screen in Sanskrit. It meant the churning has paused, it has not ended. He may be the heart now, and hearts can be broken. A laughter whispered around Katha, and the screen shut down. So, my lovelies, this is the part one of the short story, The Heart of Shiva. I hope you have enjoyed this part, and soon I will come back with part two. If you are interested to know more about the real life nuclear incident of Nanda Devi, you can search Google, you can search YouTube. There are many reports and videos explaining what had happened at the Nanda Devi. The incident is only true. However, this is a fiction story that I have written for you guys. I hope you loved it, enjoyed it. If you want to see such more content, follow TLB's official YouTube channel for more. Thank you.